Welcome to the Safeguarding and Domestic Abuse sector, for professionals working in the world of safeguarding and domestic abuse, and for anyone who believes in harnessing the power of sector-led learning and improvement. The conversation unfolds week by week, season by season. In this space, expect to hear me talk about this work which has the ability to change lives, alongside having powerful conversations with those who are taking action and can inspire us on our learning and improvement journey. This is the Safeguarding and Domestic Abuse sector. Hello and welcome to this week's broadcast. Ageism is not always deliberate or obvious. More often it appears through assumptions, stereotypes, and systemic barriers that influence how abuse is recognised and responded to. One of the most troubling patterns is the normalisation of abuse in later life. So we've got societal stereotypes about frailty, dependency, and decline, and they can lead people to view acts such as physical violence, financial exploitation, or coercion as somehow less serious when the victim is older. In some cases, the behaviour might be minimised as part of family stress or the pressures of caring. In others, the harm itself may be interpreted through a lens of inevitability, as though vulnerability in later life somehow makes abuse more understandable. But abuse does not become less harmful simply because someone is older. Reviews frequently highlight situations where signs of abuse were attributed to the ageing process. Bruising may be explained away as fragile skin. Confusion may be assumed to be dementia. And then changes in behaviour that might be interpreted as decline rather than distress. And of course, ageing can bring complex health needs. But when professionals default to age-related explanations, there is a risk that harm remains hidden in plain sight. Professional curiosity matters just as much in later life as it does in any other stage of life. Many older people have absorbed messages over a lifetime about not wanting to be a burden. As a result, they may be reluctant to seek help or feel they're not entitled to support. This can mean abuse goes unreported for long periods, particularly where the perpetrator is a family member or carer. And then our ageist assumptions can also influence how certain forms of abuse are understood. For example, persistent myths around asexuality in older age can mean that sexual abuse is overlooked or poorly recognised. In some extreme cases, homicides of older people have been framed through narratives of mercy rather than examined as violence. These assumptions can shape not only professional responses, but also how the criminal justice system interprets harm. Sometimes bias appears in a more subtle form. What's sometimes described as compassionate ageism occurs when professionals respond with pity rather than respect for autonomy. Older people may be treated as passive recipients of care rather than individuals with rights, preferences, and strengths. While often well-intentioned, this approach can unintentionally undermine a person's ability to speak for themselves, make decisions, and protect their own safety. Another difficulty lies in the way information is recorded. So safeguarding systems don't always capture the full picture of abuse in later life. Without reliable data, it becomes much harder to identify patterns, understand risk factors, or plan effective services. The effect is that older victims can become invisible within the system itself. Are you fired up to generate implementable learning in reviews, maybe involving analysis like this, which could potentially improve the lives of vulnerable people, maybe older adults. If you want to become an independent reviewer, you can book a call with myself or a member of my team. And if you book a call, you'll be asked to complete a 2-minute assessment. It's an online form designed to help you to find out if you're eligible. But also it will tell you your likelihood of success on the course. We have a 100% pass rate in SILP School, and that's because we wouldn't allow anybody to be incorrectly placed. And there's that process to help you find that piece of information out, because we don't want you to come out unhappy or unsuccessful. It's not good for you and it's not good for us. So on that call, if you would like to book, we can discuss how you find work that's flexible and meaningful, whether it's post-retirement or as your next career move, and the essential skills and knowledge from your current role that are transferable to independent work. There are things that are lying there that you probably don't realise that you have. You can talk about how you understand the framework of independent reviews and what you need to know to get started. And we'll talk about the key strategies for building credibility and finding your first independent review opportunities. We can also talk about SILP itself and why, in my opinion, it's the most engaging and proportionate method for independent reviews. So there's going to be a link below for you to book a call. You can fill in that form, and yeah, we can discuss whether it's the right move for you. So thank you. Thank you for listening. If this episode has been useful or enlightening, please leave me a review on iTunes. I'm always open to feedback, and I will really appreciate your review.